Let's go. Today, what you're going to need is a piece of cardstock or a canvas, which is what I'm going to use today. Some clip art or a piece of art that you or somebody else has drawn. Some carbon paper. Unless you can draw, then you can put that right on your drawing right on your cardstock or your canvas. I can't, and I'm too afraid to wreck the canvas, so I need to have some carbon paper, a pencil, a paintbrush, and you can see this is not a fancy paintbrush. I bought it in I don't know, a dozen for $1.24 or something. Very cheap paintbrush. Don't need anything expensive. A cup of water. Some paint of your choice. And some 3D paint, or what some people refer to as puff paint. Some of that. So we have all our supplies. And through the magic of video, I already have one done that I'm going to paint. But first I'm going to show you how I put it on the cardstock. But again, I'm using the canvas today because I haven't done it on canvas and I want to see how that's going to turn out. So that's what we're going to do today, this little bear. I'm going to paint it in just a minute, but show you how to do the transfer on the canvas. So I have my carbon paper, and you have to be kind of, you know, you don't want to be pressing too hard, like holding it on here too hard, or you might get some marks on your canvas. So I'm just going to carefully lay my carbon paper on there. I'm going to get this centered hopefully for you. And then use my little drawing that I did, and I'm going to place it on top of there. And again, just kind of gently hold it. And now I'm just going to trace over. I hope this works. I think it will. Trace over what I have already drawn. Okay, and again, this doesn't have to be anything perfect. I am very, very excited to try this with my grandkids. If you are doing this, oh, got a little off, but that's okay. And I have these kits on my Etsy store at granny345.etsy.com, where you already have the image with the puff paint or with the 3D paint on there for you. And then it just comes with paints and a brush, and I think that's about it. No frame. But if you're using the canvas again, then you probably don't need a frame or want a frame, which I won't be doing for that. So there we go. It worked. Okay. So that is the, and I'm just going to shake this paint a little bit. And to this, okay, the reason I was saying that is this takes, this 3D paint, I like to have it dry overnight, but it probably would just take a couple of hours. So open that up. The tip is quite skinny. If you want something that is, see, it's really thin. If you want something that's thicker, you could either just squeeze it out thicker, or you could cut that and make the lines a little bit thicker. But this is fine for my purposes. So, again, you want to like start at the top or on one side or the other so that you're not dragging your hand over what you've already painted. So I'm going to start on this side. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect by any means. I kind of like it when, you know, you get these little bumps in there. I think it adds a lot of character and it looks cute. And the kids, I'm sure the kids will do it. There will be some of that in there. So just rotating my canvas a little bit, just because it's a little bit easier for me to do. And you can just start and stop. It's kind of like caulking, maybe a little bit. Maybe not quite that hard. No, it's not that hard. Caulking is not an easy job, or I never found it to be easy. Okay, so this is coming out very nice. Happy with the way this is looking so far. Gonna give his little eyes. And you can add background detail if you want. Again, I can't draw, so I am loath to add anything. I'm going to fill that in, okay? And then a line. You can make them smiling if you want to, or you can make them frowning. I'm just going to go straight across. Okay, so that is done on the canvas. Again, you could add, you know, some trees back here if you wanted to, or just like a mountain or a plane or anything you wanted. I am going to go with the plane because of the frame that I made from buttons, which you'll see, or you have seen actually at the beginning of this video. So I'm just going to set that aside, and now we're going to go ahead and paint what I've already have dry. So I did this a number of days ago and it's perfectly dry. And we're going to go ahead and do the painting. Again, you can probably start at the top, not necessary. Maybe if you can, you know, hold your hand up. I need to have to brace my hand. I'm in my old age, not quite as steady as I used to be. So what I like to do is shake your paint. I like to use the paint just right out of the cap. But you could squeeze them on a piece of paper towel or a piece of paper and do it that way. But this works for me, so that's how I'm going to do it. So I have 3 colors today. You can use as many colors as you want. You can also, you know, paint the whole background a color if you want to, or you can leave it plain. I'm going to leave mine plain. So these are the colors that I picked, and these will be the colors that are in the kit also. If you are doing this from scratch, from everything you have, you can use any colors that you want, of course. So I'm going to start with the ears, and I think I'm going to go with this gold, and I'm just going to go right inside there. And this is much easier than like coloring in a coloring book, because that 3D paint kind of gives you an edge. So you don't have to be real precise, which is kind of nice for the kids too. Because sometimes they get upset when they don't draw on the lines. And I don't blame them. I get upset too. I'm not very good at any kind of art, really. I mean, I have my artistic moments, maybe, if you will, but it's typically not painting or drawing. I'm going to do the mouth in the same color. And this doesn't take very much paint. This is acrylic paint. You could use watercolors. Probably, oh, I just touched that ear, so now I'm going to have to be careful, get my paper towel and dry my hand off. I don't want to smudge my, you could probably use watercolors again. you'd have to be careful because the cardstock is paper. So you wouldn't want it maybe to leak through. I don't know. Again, I'm not an artist. I don't really know about those things, but it seems like it could get the cardstock maybe a little wet, and that might not be good. It would ripple the paper. Not really sure. So kind of just try to dab that off of the black with my finger. There we go. Okay, so I think that part, I think I'm going to call it quits there. I think that looks fine. So I'm going to use the water, rinse out my brush, dry my brush off on the paper towel. And I'm going to use the brown paint, very, very conventional brown bear here. Again, just kind of starting at the top. There's a lot of area to cover. Oh, I wonder how the eyes are going to look with this dark brown. We'll find out. Maybe I should have picked a little bit better color, a lighter brown maybe. Might have to lighten that up a little bit for my kits, which I haven't put together for my Etsy store yet. But this is good that I'm doing this so that I know for the future. So I had a guy that I worked with that used to, I think he used, I want to say it was, I'm schmutzing it up there a little bit. Forgive me. I think it was industrial, like caulk, and maybe it wasn't industrial, but it was caulk. And he would do his own art and outline. They were very, very simple, not dissimilar to what you're seeing here. And put them on huge canvases. And people loved him. I think he sold quite a few of those. I guess you can see his eye okay. It's not real visible, but it might be all right. I'll have to make a determination about that, but I don't know. Well, let me know what you think in the comments. That would be appreciated. I'm going to try to really take to heart everybody's comments and try not to be offended, which can be hard sometimes. I know when I had my store, people would get oftentimes critical of some of the jobs that were done, but some of them were very, very hard, like sewing. You know, it was a sewing shop, and people would come in with a big, hole in the front of their jacket and want it patched up, and then weren't happy with the patch because you could see it, but it's almost an impossibility. Just grabbing a little bit more paint there from my bottle. They didn't have quite enough in the cap. So they would be a little dissatisfied, but kind of get used to it, I guess, a little bit. But so it goes, right? Okay, just about done with the brown bear here, with his body. Again, you can, see brush marks and stuff like that, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. I think that looks pretty good. Again, I'm going to rinse my brush off here and dry it off on my paper towel. I got a little brown on the black there. I'm not a very good painter at all. Okay, and the last part is the blue. I wanted to give him some blue ears on the inside. I thought that might look... Oh, there I go again. There I go again. Hopefully you're better at this than I am. I'm going to go back, I think maybe with a Q-tip and try to clean that up a little bit. Thought my finger would work, but I guess it's not. It's not going to. Maybe if I got my fingertip wet a little bit. I'm going to just try that. Just barely get it wet. Just try to dab that a little bit. No, that's not really working. That's okay. Oh, a little more schmutz. Okay, so that is it. I think it looks very, very cute. And as you saw, I framed it up in the frame that I had made for a different video, this button frame. And so I'll trim that out to size, and then that'll be in my frame, which I picked out buttons that kind of have some blue and brown and tan kind of matches. So I think it's going to be very, very cute. But that's my opinion. I hope you like this project. And again, there are kits available on my Etsy store. And there's a bear, there's a little mouse, and a hedgehog. I may do more, maybe just kind of like scenes, like maybe like a woods or something like that, but I'm going to have to see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed this project. Please let me know in the comments. And as always, I'm forever mindful that without you, there is no me. So until next time, thank you. Bye.